So how did it go tonight?
I thought it was really fucking great. I really liked the crowd and I liked their energy, and I liked that, you know, they had a real kind of curious look at first when we wandered in, like, oh my god, these lot look like they've been dug up. But then, like, once they heard the rhythms, they got like into it, pretty much. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it took me a little while to get around the new Newcastle Riverside, being the old former studio where the 80s television programme The Tube was filmed.
Well, yeah,
Show your age now.
Yeah.
Not really, because you can see all that online.
On the internet.
on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I heard about.
Yeah, you saw YouTube, right?
Well, I googled it. Yeah.
You can get to hear Frankie Goes to Hollywood before they were signed, when they were more funky.
But the former club was like a dark pit where you couldn't really walk across the floor without sticking to it.
Like
So it was,
Velcro.
Was the last one? Was the last Riverside? Was that bigger?
It was smaller.
Really?
And it had a lower ceiling, and this one seemed like seemed to be made of glass or something. It's very light, and we were on. It was still light, and it was quite.
Because I remember the old Riverside as being quite a big place.
It was a big place. It was like a dark cavern.
Yeah.
What's best for
Having a
you,
spin.
small or big?
I beg your pardon.
Yeah, you know, a small or big Riverside.
Small or big venue, generally speaking.
It's really hard to say because we've had some
You
good
get some good small ones, and you get some good
big
ones.
ones. Like Hyde
Size
Park.
ain't a factor, is it?
Hyde Park was fun.
Sound is a factor. Sound
Yeah.
on stage is a factor. Definitely.
But-
But I personally don't. I genuinely don't ever. Never concerns me that. I like playing big places, but the measure of a good gig isn't judged by that. For me, you know.
The only thing I don't like say if you're doing a festival or something sometimes, is when there's that really far barrier between you and the audience.
Yeah, you feel so far removed from them. It's like
Yeah, and they told us, because it was sold out, they were going to remove the barrier. Because obviously it's sold out and they couldn't really afford to have that barrier taking up a bit of space, which I liked.
Yeah, that's.
But then the barrier appeared last minute.
it wasn't too far away though.
No, it was kind of small, and it worked for people filming it, and the audience did
But
come
it was
to the
lovely.
front. Yeah,
It was lovely being joined by Mr. Peter Doherty today.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's
For
a
a
really
Broken
nice
Love song, which it was a really nice moment. I looked to my left to talk to his roadie Andrew Newlove, and I was like, "Is Peter here?" And then I looked to my right, and then Peter's standing right there. And I'm like, brilliant. So yeah,
And that's how the magic happened.
that's how the magic happened. Yeah, no, it was great. It was a really nice moment. And
We was playing that first solo single, when he lasted the English Roses.
yeah,
Playing that with the new band.
Flags the New Regime
I
as well.
I think I prefer Broken Love Song. So it was good to get that one in the set.
I just think it's great he's out there doing, his material that's not just Libertines based, because I mean the Libertine stuff's great, but also I think Peter's massively underrated as a writer, as a solo writer, and Grace Wastelands I think is a brilliant record. Didn't you
Demo it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Broken Love Song weren't one of the demo, nor was the other single actually.
You've been involved in writing one songs of Libertines. Don't Step Me Now.
Can't Stand Me Now, yeah. Yeah.
So this, since Peter is writing again and you've been doing this together and you go on stage, is there anything else going on? Is there anything else happening?
I'd like to do some recording with
Yeah.
this new lineup. Yeah, it's a good lineup. I like the free girl, free guy.
You guys do something with them? Is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
We
we
haven't-
could do that.
That'll probably happen very organically. Like the straw that broke the camel's
So we've
back.
played a few times now together. There's some stuff on YouTube of dubious quality.
Pipe down.
On these things in Paris, and
Us doing pipe down with
Peter
him.
doing twist and shout while eating an apple. And
Yeah, we did pipe down with him down in Paris.
Yeah,
well, the
Pipe
first time I went out there without my passport, and
It was better tonight, wasn't it?
it was
it's
great.
gotta be better
Yeah,
tonight,
because it was. I think it just fit with what we were doing, and mood-wise, it was. Even though our set was quite rowdy, it seemed to fit really well, and it still, even though it's melancholy, it still had energy.
Man, we got to get the motherfucker to do that David Bowie song, Lazarus.
Yeah.
There's something magic about that song, no doubt about it.
And get that together for him. Be nice.
I just realised this is the first time you've seen the four of us. Yeah.
Yes.
And,
Oh my God!
yeah, exclusive.
Is this for Sonic Shocks?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wicked.
brilliant. That's great.
It's our third outing
Yeah, I believe
on
it is.
camera.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
You're here this time.
Yeah, all four of us.
all four of us.
About
Would you
fucking
like
time.
to introduce?
Yeah, well, we talked about the new members.
Yeah,
I think
you
the
talked
last
about them, but now
time,
it'd be nice to introduce
Okay.
them.
last time Joe and me were interviewed, we just got the lineup together,
Mhm.
and I think we couldn't say who you were
Yeah.
because we were trying to get.
Stuff sorted out.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
just
he does.
before
Let's
everything
leave
was
it at
Stuff
that.
sorted.
Yeah.
And Cass, we could talk about, and you know, and I think we were kind of respectful to Mark McCarthy and Trevor Sharp, who'd put in a couple of years with us and played on the first album.
I mean, it's super exciting now. You know, not saying it wasn't back then, but for me now, I like the energy. I like where we're going, and
Where are you going?
where are we going? Well, right now we're about to go to bed, but no, you know, we've put together the workings of a really great record.
Yeah, we got
And,
some momentum
fucking
going, you know, with the
fantastic.
gigs, and I think that's kind of before it was one or the other, and I was happy that we were able to just make some good records, and although we weren't really able to tour it because the other two had commitments, bands and other stuff, you know what I mean, whereas it's always been full time for Jerome and me. And now we got four people all on the same page, and,
Yeah.
and we can take we can do these tours, and find, you know, it's taken us 4 years to get to Newcastle. I mean,
Right,
Slow train.
fantastic.
yeah, it's a slow train. Yeah,
Only took me 3 hours today.
The output is that much greater. You know, when you've got four people firing on all cylinders, it makes one hell of a difference, and makes it a lot less stressful for us both, without a doubt. You know, but I've heard basically in the last, you know, 6, 7 months, 8 even months, I don't know how many months it's been now, but is just how excited people are to see this lineup, and how, in a way, that they're really moved by the fact that we've come together, and these two having their history as well has kind of given it an extra sprinkle of the, you know, magic dust, so to speak.
No arguments yet.
we travelled separately. It's all cool.
That
But-
explains.
I know, for me personally, it's exciting playing. Obviously, you know, it's been really exciting writing with Mark and stuff. But you know, it was really exciting for me to play with Cass, because aside from the Census things, I was a massive Gorillaz fan, which I'm sure he's probably more than aware of now. So yeah, that's for me personally really exciting to work with musicians that have inspired me, you know, growing up, and it's a real honour to play with musicians that, you know, I first saw in the front room with my mother watching Top of the Pops. We were playing Easy to Smile.
Did that interrupt you watching your TV show?
My TV show. I was watching on Top of the Pops, isn't it?
I was making a very stupid joke.
Okay. It's a very late at night. So
No, it's very early in the morning actually.
is it? I don't even know.
I think.
I have gone past that point. But yeah, I mean, it's an exciting time. you know, and doing these dates with Peter's been great, you know, because you know, you just get the call, Jai tells you where to be, bang, and the audiences have been really, really receptive, which has been great, you know.
Do you think this might be the next step? I mean, you guys have been...
I don't think it's the next step, it is the next step.
Yeah. I mean, we pretty much finished recording the album, so
Yeah,
we're just
obviously
mixing
you've
it
been together
now.
for a while now, which is
Yeah.
normal nowadays. It takes time, and finally you reach the ideal lineup.
Yeah.
You're there with the second album, so now is really the time to do that jump.
Yeah, no, absolutely, you know.
We might even sign a deal.
Yeah,
Did
we
you
may
mention
even.
interest from labels last
Yeah, yeah.
We
we
can't
got-
say who,
We
though.
got interest from
But there
labels.
is still something.
Oh yeah,
Increasingly, yeah.
yeah. The next release, you know, it looks set to be memorable, and it's a great fucking record. Like
Just
every.
better Darkest the Night. I was worried about doing that.
I remember you saying that. I remember him saying to me, "Oh God, can we better it?" But I think we've more than bettered it personally.
Yeah.
You know, and I like the fact that there's different shades on the album. You know, Dark in the Night is, although there is on Dark as the Night actually. Come now and say that, but with this, I was able to take my guitars to a new place. You know, I've been listening to loads of film soundtracks, and I was getting a lot of inspiration from like watching Kenneth Anger, and you know, listening to the weird sort of soundtracks like Fabio Frizzi.
Yeah.
He did the
Oh, yeah,
music
yeah,
to
Fabio.
Zombie Flesh Eaters or whatever it's
Yeah.
called, and I always remember that.
Shit, I've got something on there. I've got to play.
On the keys, but like
That was Suspiria.
we
Still.
went to a night. Where was it again? It was some night, some film night where he was at, and we met him, and he was a really nice guy, and he said he might possibly guest on the track, which would be really interesting.
It's a good friend, I remind him.
Yeah,
He's doing- he's a lovely
Fabio.
guy.
You've met Fabio Frizzi.
Oh, we're good friends, so I'll see him when I was in Rome.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's a lovely, lovely guy.
I see.
Speak all the time. I'll
Really?
remind him.
Actually, that reminds me, we're doing some dates with Sex Gang Children, and this kind of ties in actually because Andy's Sex Gang did. Who's the guy who did Suspiria again?
Dario Argento.
Dario Argento. He
And
did.
the musician
But the
is
sound,
Simonetti.
they were Goblin, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Goblin, Claudio Simonetti, Goblin.
Yeah.
they did a sound. Well, apparently Andy Sex Gang did a soundtrack with one of on one of the films. He was mentioning the other day. I think he mentions it in the documentary as well. But that's kind of cool because I remember being like a 14-year-old kid dancing to Sex Gang Children in the Slimelight, and again, you know, nostalgia. What's that smell? It's called nostalgia.
You're quite into horror movies, are you?
Yeah.
I think we all are. I mean, myself and Mark. I was actually talking to my daughter only a couple of days ago because I was debating whether or not to watch The Exorcist 2, which I've never seen, and he likes it. He thinks it's shit, but I was explaining that when VHSs first came out, they didn't have certificates, so you could go in as a kid and, you know, hire out whatever you want. I was saying that me and Mark used to kind of, you know,
Wow.
hire things like The Brood and David Cronenberg's Rabid,
That's brilliant.
and this is
There was a
terrible.
laptop being destroyed.
Is the Brood where those little kids?
The
They're
blonde
like,
kids,
yeah, sort of. But
You could
really violent ones.
You know, you wouldn't have any kind of restriction over what you could hire out. So we were filling our heads with kind of like lots of horror films, and you know, when myself and Mark kind of reconnected last year, I think, you know, before any of this Deadcuts stuff happened, I think we spent, you know, quite a few weeks just on horror film music, and I don't know. Maybe it's not healthy listening to kind of Jerry Goldsmith's own score around the house, but you know, it's very rich sounding.
Soundtrack on The
Music,
Witch
isn't it?
is amazing.
So if
That
you
new
have to
film.
pick,
Oh yeah,
if you
The
have
Witch.
to pick all together, you have to agree on one movie.
I know
Do a
already what we're going to
soundtrack,
say.
old or new. There's a remake being done or anything.
Right.
Which
Well,
one
if we
would
had
it
to
be?
choose a
A
movie,
remake.
You pick you
To
doing
rescore.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
Wizard
rescoring.
of Oz.
Suspiria.
Tipo Fonda Rossa.
No, but then Suspiria would be a really obvious choice.
But they're doing. No,
You
they're
have
doing.
to
Big, big,
agree.
big.
Unobvious
Oh,
choice.
that's to
Argento
agree on
movies
one.
straight in there.
So
we have to agree on
You
one.
have to agree on one.
That's never going to happen.
That's
is
never
it?
going to happen. No. But I mean,
Team
personally,
building.
I don't know, because the thing is there's so many fantastic films out there that
Depends
if you
on the director as well.
No, I think
But if you
I've already got
recontextualise the
Spirit
whole-
rewritten on here, so
yeah
The Witch. What you were
Already.
saying about The Witch. I mean, I saw it in the cinema, and they actually used, like we used on Summon the Witches. When we had Rev Love from Alabama Free do a reading. He did the Enochian call, and I noticed in the end of the film they used the Enochian call, a real one.
Witch, yeah.
So they really did their fucking research there. Incredible movie, and you couldn't really second guess what was coming next, and that's what I like about a horror film. It's not. I don't like gore. I don't like senseless violence. I like atmosphere, and I like to vibe off that much more than some idiot chasing some of a chainsaw.
yeah I think Rosemary's Baby is probably still one of my favourites.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man, he's a
I've
wicked
seen it so many
director.
times,
Yeah.
and
Roman
Yeah.
Polanski in it, that one.
I've got a really beautiful original 1968 3-sheet of that, which I had touched up. So it's a really beautiful piece of work. But then again, you could take something like John Malkovich's, not John Malkovich, Terrence Malick's Tree of Life, and put a Warner Brothers score on it. That'd be fun, because that's a long film.
Is that any good, that film?
I fucking thought it was amazing. I really did. I thought it was a beautiful film. It's long. I mean, it's not. It's, other than the Big Bang, there's not a lot of explosions in it. Or car chases. It's but I think it's an amazing film. Yeah, brilliant.
What are we gonna watch tonight then?
What you got, Fifi? What you got in store for us? Can we just
Sound
turn over
music.
to
This is Fifi
Gateshead's finest hostess?
with the most.
Actually, talking about horror films, do you remember Biro?
Deep engaged with the iPhone. I do remember Biro.
And
In
What's
Perth,
Biro?
in Scotland.
who was a
Yeah,
friend we used to
snuff
stay with.
film fanatic we used to stay with.
And his
So-
his film collection was definitely one that that's where my line
Yeah,
drew.
it was fucked up.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
want to see that then.
Nah, not really, not really.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you get a chance to see The Witch. But another film I really want to see is Miles Head, which is about Miles Davis, because I read his
It's Don
biography.
Cheadle, isn't it?
Yeah, and I always remember this really funny anecdote about him, where he was like so high on cocaine, he was in a lift, right, and this girl got in the lift, and he thought he was still driving in his car. He went, "Bitch, get out of my car!" And he like gave her a slap, and then she like ran off, and he got in loads of trouble.
My favourite cocaine anecdote from Miles Davis's autobiography is where he took a whole load of cocaine and he was so paranoid about doing the cocaine that he actually put himself under his own floorboards for 5 days. And that's where that will leave you, friends.
With a SWAT, because SWAT team's out to get you.
Snorting cocaine underneath your own floorboards.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
He nailed
it's all-
himself down there.
Huh?
Did he nail himself down?
I don't know, he probably just had a little strap that you could pull that cord up and then look out and see if anyone's there and get back underneath.
I quite like that Boy George story, the Scanner Darkly thing of kind of informing on himself, phoning the police up when he's got like some boy tied up and mounting cocaine on the table.
I think
But
when
that's
you
like
get to
pure
that level-
Philip K. Dick, innit?
Where do we go? Websites? Do you want to remind us?
Yeah, we're on
Whatever?
Twitter, Deadcuts Band. We're on Facebook, Deadcuts. We have deadcuts.co.uk and deadcuts.co. how up to date they are, due to having absolutely no control over those two domains currently.
Because
I can tell you, so probably check our Twitter or Facebook feeds.
the
Okay.
facial book.
So if we check
Or our
them all, there's
SoundCloud as well. Deadcuts got a SoundCloud account. That
and if we check them all, there's a fair chance we know what we're going to
you get an idea
Yeah.
what we're doing, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wicked. Thank you, Christina. God
Thank you,
bless.
guys.
Nice one.
Thanks very
you.
much.
Bye bye.